code of the student?
04. GA
GA0.
0.
Okay, I have a list. List here.
من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I'll be presenting on the topic, how can the Quran help me manage gaming and technology without falling into addiction? So before starting, it is important to clarify that there's nothing wrong with gaming or technology, as long as it's done appropriately, in moderation, and with the right intention. And gaming and technology are actually an everyday part of our life, and they can be fun, they can be useful, and even educational sometimes. But because they're always available and they're highly stimulating, they can easily become addictive, and especially if it's not controlled. And when someone becomes addicted, time is lost without even realizing it. And this focus, your focus weakens, your responsibilities are neglected, and screens start to feel like an escape rather than a tool. And this can slowly affect mental well-being, relationships, and even your spirituality. Although the Quran does not directly talk about gaming or technology, it addresses the root cause of it and the root problem, and it teaches balance, self-control, and awareness of time and your desires. And through these principles, the Quran shows us how to enjoy worldly things without letting them take over our lives. So, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allah says in the Quran in Surah Al-Asr, Wal Asr, Innal insana lafi khus, illa alladhina amanu wa amilu salihat. By time, man is indeed in loss, except those who have faith and do righteous deeds. This verse, it reminds us that time is precious and it is easily wasted in gaming and technology. Hours can slip away unnoticed, leading to loss. The exception is those who believe and do righteous deeds. This literally shows us the solution. Use time consciously, align screen time with purpose and responsibilities, and keep technology as a tool and not your master. And to further get into my presentation, here are a few practical Quranic steps to manage gaming and technology and not fall into addiction. Number 1, balance and moderation. Allah says in the Quran, وَلَا تُسْرِفُوا إِنَّهُ لَا يُحِبُّ الْمُسْرِفِينَ. And do not be extravagant. Indeed, He does not like the extravagant. Surah Al-An'am. The Quran repeatedly encourages moderation, just as it warns against excess in food. It also applies to leisure and entertainment. Excessive gaming or technology use can dominate your schedule, and this can affect your sleep, your studies, and even your relationships. Setting limits, taking breaks, and combining online activity with productive or spiritual work ensures that technology is used in moderation, avoiding harm to the body, mind, and soul. Number 2, purposeful engagement. Allah says in the Quran, فَأَقِمْ وَجْهَكَ لِلدِّينِ حَنِيفًا. So set your heart as a person of pure faith on this religion. When your heart focuses on Allah only, your priorities change naturally. And games and technology become tools and not distractions. Your priorities, they shift naturally when you care about pleasing Allah only. Your time is spent on things that matter, example, prayer, learning, and gaming and social media does not become the main way of connecting. It becomes Quran and Salah becomes the main way of connecting your heart to Allah, and not from screens or games. Self-control, mindfulness of Allah makes it easier to set limits and avoid wasting time. And to conclude this point, Imam Ali says, the heart of the believer is between two fingers of Allah. He directs it wherever He wills. Number 3, daily self-reflection, yani tadabbur or muhasaba. Allah says in the Quran, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, ittaqullaha wa tanzur nafsum ma qaddamat lighad. O believers, be mindful of Allah and let every soul look to what deeds it has sent forth for tomorrow. Surah Al-Hashr. This ayah explains to us that managing gaming and technology by reflecting on how you spent your day. Did gaming or screen time dominate you? Did daily self-reviews help you correct your habits before they become addictive? Even 5 minutes before bed, review your day. What can you improve? Fourthly, so statistics show that higher screen use correlates infrequent physical activity and irregular sleep routines and weight concerns among teenagers. And another statistic shows that research found that among adolescents aged 12 to 16, 63.1 played games daily, and 62.1 met video game depression and inattention. Now, what this shows us is that mental and physical harm can be caused by too much screen time, which connects us to the ayah in the Quran where Allah says, "Wala tulqu bi aydikum illa tahluka," which means, and do not throw yourselves into destructions with your own hands. Surah Al-Baqarah. This verse has been interpreted by scholars to include a prohibition against behaviors that directly or even indirectly harm one's body or health. Neglecting physical well-being, such as through gaming and screen time, may fall under throwing oneself into destruction, which Quran directly warns us against. Number 5, on to my 5th point. Recognizing Allah's concealment as a call to self-discipline. Dua Arafah has a very famous line where Imam Hussein humbly says to Allah, وَكَمْ مِنْ ذَنْبٍ سَتَرْتُهَا عَلَيَّ فِي الدُّنْيَا وَلَمْ تَفْضَحْنِي بِهِ بَيْنَ خَلْقِكَ. How many sins have you concealed for me in this world, and you did not expose me because of them among your creation? Now, how this line can help us manage gaming and technology. It reminds us that when Allah hides our mistakes, it is not out of the fact that it is okay. It is out of mercy of Allah. Just like our sins are unseen by others, spending too much time on gaming or technology might go unnoticed, but Allah sees and knows everything. Keeping this in mind encourages us to be self-aware and take responsibility. You become aware of how much time and energy you spend on games or online activities. You understand that Allah's mercy gives you a chance to improve yourself and set limits. It motivates you to set limits so technology is used as a helpful tool and not a distraction. It inspires gratitude and moral responsibility, pushing you to use your time wisely. In short, this line teaches us that hidden mistakes are a chance for us to correct ourselves, helping you use gaming and technology in a balanced and disciplined way. Number 6, balancing day and night, a Quranic framework for healthy technology use. Allah says in the Quran, وَجَعَلْنَا نَوْمَكُمْ سُبَاتًا, and we made your sleep a means of rest. This ayah shows us that sleep is a deliberate gift from Allah to restore the body and mind, not something to be sacrificed or delayed. وَجَعَلْنَا اللَّيْلَ لِبَاسًا وَجَعَلْنَا النَّهَارَ مَعَاشًا, and we made the night a covering and made the day for livelihood. These verses teach us discipline. When technology dominates both day and night, balance is lost. And using games and devices within appropriate hours helps ensure that entertainment remains controlled, productive responsibilities are fulfilled, and addiction is avoided. Before I conclude, an important point I want to get out there is managing gaming and technology is ultimately a matter of the heart before it is a matter of habit. And every choice to step away from access, to protect our sleep, and to restore balance to our days is a quiet act of loyalty to Imam al-Zaman. And he awaits a community that is awake in awareness, disciplined in action, and sincere in intention, not one who is distracted by endless amusement or lost in heedlessness. When we guard our time, we are refining ourselves for a higher purpose. We turn our energy towards knowledge, character, worship, and service, shaping ourselves into individuals capable of standing with the truth. These efforts, even when unseen by others, are seen by Imam al-Zaman, and they bring him joy, for they reflect a heart that is preparing, striving, and choosing growth over distraction. In managing technology wisely, we transform our daily lives into a form of readiness and make our time an offering that draws us closer to Him and Allah. Sadaqallah.
Thank you for that wonderful presentation. Nicely presented. I was expecting more ayats from you, but you mentioned 6 points as solutions to this problem of addiction. Balancing, moderation, purposeful engagement, and then you talked about فَلْيُنْظُرِ الْإِنسَانُ مَا قَدَّمَتْ muhasiba, muraqiba, physical problems, recognizing the benefits, balancing day and night. But fourth point which you mentioned about physical problems, those physical problems that you mentioned, how many sheets you are having?
Just 2.
Okay. Okay. So leave it with her. Maybe she wants. Just leave it with her. Don't want to disturb her. They will lose confidence then. They will not refer. They will not refer, but let it be. Now my question was that you mentioned physical problems.
Yeah.
You talked about problems, but you did not mention any solution. You know, my question is, you mentioned here you like golf, swimming, football. Yeah. So why don't you mention that how can a person, be more encouraged to come out of, that virtual life and enjoy the physical activities, not gaming, but sports in this sense?
Yeah.
So how from Quran can you, learn this understanding? Because you mentioned that there are problems, you gave all those statistics and tahluka, you talked about وَلَا تَلْقُوا بِأَيْدِكُمْ, but you did not say that, how do I encourage myself, or how do I encourage others, children especially nowadays, 13 to 15 or maybe more, how can they come out of their virtual life and enjoy the physical activities, play football, swimming, golf, or whatever? How can you, encourage them using Quran, teachings of Quran?
Okay. So we can look back to history and we can see that example, the Prophet, he was someone who encouraged sports and like spending time outside, like It's even sunnah to learn swimming, to learn archery, to learn horse riding. So this all comes down to sports being something that is encouraged for a human, for the human's well-being, for the well-being of the spiritual self, of the mind, of the body, in all aspects of the life. And
Those days that you talk about, where the Holy Prophet says, okay, teach your children, archery,
Yeah.
horse riding, swimming. There was no internet, there was no gaming, there was no phone. What else they could have done?
there's obviously this
So
is
you get my point?
Yeah.
Because there was no other thing,
yeah.
right? So Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is not stopping from gaming. He's saying, okay, do this, do that,
Yeah,
physical activities.
Because for us, this is our distraction. This is our sorry. This is it is our test. It is our test. So obviously back then there must have been tests for that era. But the Quran is something that is lived on for every generation. So regardless of, and the Prophet's teachings are all generations. So regardless of what the distraction is, it can still apply to the same thing.
So maybe the Prophet was, giving an alternate to other bad
Yeah,
habits,
exactly.
and was
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
you could come up with. Can you come up with some activities which were an addiction in those days, or maybe Prophet wanted to encourage them to leave those activities and come towards?
Probably they were very into tijara, so like selling and marketing and doing all that. So that may have been a distraction for them away from God and stuff. Maybe they were just only focusing
So
on
don't
making,
earn money.
huh?
Prophet wanted to say don't earn money.
Balance.
Balance it. Okay, thank you. Ahsan.
Assalamu alaikum. Wonderful presentation, mashallah. First of all, I would like to understand your own experience that you applied for this category of QIML. Let us know how you were referring to Quran, how you were preparing for these categories and all. How much time you spent for this category?
So for the whole category or this question specifically?
No, for the whole preparations that you had.
For the whole preparation, about a month, 3 weeks, somewhere there.
Like every day, how many hours?
Not too much, but like depending on schedule.
Like approximately 2 hours, 3 hours?
Yeah, 2 hours,
On a
3
daily
hours.
basis?
Yeah.
Since you are from Mombasa, I know your efforts from before, but still wanted to understand your dedication. So, have you felt any change within you, like when you are referring to Quran
Definitely.
in terms of this preparation and all?
Definitely.
Now you understand more.
Yeah.
So we can ask more like tough questions, inshallah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so when you presented that gaming is not something wrong, I was expecting maybe you can categorize this usage into positive and negative,
Yeah.
and then present some positive aspects and some other as a negative aspects. Can I understand the negative outcomes of gaming within the society?
There's multiple, but number one is gaming. It produces lots of dopamine at the moment. So lots of people who game and use lots of technology are having like a dopamine rush, and then after they go to low battery, and then their whole day is spoilt because they've just been highly stimulated from the game, and then.
So if you want to replicate the same standard, do you have any examples from within Quran where such practice is prohibited or discouraged?
Not specifically for, but we have example Ashab al-Kahf. This is not specifically for this topic, but it's giving an example. So Ashab al-Kahf, they were a group of young people, and they were running away. They fled to a cave because of the oppression and because of the community that they were living in, and because they feared God. So they fled to the cave, and this made them. So God sent them into a sleep of 109 years, and just to show that if you go out of your way to protect yourself and protect your iman with Allah,
No,
then
you
God
went
will.
towards the solution. I was asking about the that negative outcome within the society first. So I'm asking you, do you have any resemblance of this practice in Quran? What practice? The negative aspect of gaming. Yeah.
Gaming specifically, there's no.
So, okay. What is gaming basically? What do you understand from gaming?
Gaming, as I said, it's not wrong.
What is gaming first? Define it.
Gaming is sitting on a screen for hours, depending on.
There is a misunderstanding, I believe.
Okay.
Gaming can be something. Let's say somebody is addicted to football. It's not a screen. Somebody is addicted to what games you are having in this library? Maybe joysticks and all those things over here where you are sitting. There was a screen, I think. They were playing over here as well. So somebody is getting addicted to the physical game. Do you think that is also that is positive thing? Like
No.
somebody is getting addicted to pickleball.
No, it's not a good thing.
Even you are discouraging that
Yes.
based on your presentation of israf, etc.,
Yes.
etc. Yeah.
Yes.
So we are having a gaming which is a physical gaming. We are having a gaming which is the on-screen gaming or
Yeah.
gaming which is having a device in it as well.
Yeah.
So I think your perspective is more towards only the device-based gamings.
Yeah.
But gaming can include many of the other practices, even
Because
the
it's a
physical.
technology.
Okay, no. Read the question first.
It says, how can the Quran help me manage gaming and technology without
Okay,
falling
gaming
into addiction?
And technology.
Okay.
Okay.
And
So there will be
technology.
a perspective of gaming only,
And
gaming
technology.
with technology only, and even technology
Without.
only as well.
Okay.
So my question was, when you are coming to gaming,
Yeah.
and you are saying there is a negative aspect of gaming as well. What aspect is negative in it?
What aspect of gaming is negative?
Yeah. Why exactly you are saying I'm discouraging a person? Besides the ones that you are presenting the reflections of that particular thing that even Sayyid was asking you. He was also, searching that element or that concept.
Okay.
And even in previous trainings, we have mentioned that, yeah? There is a specific element.
I think it's just the concept of giving too much of your attention or becoming a servant of a worldly desire.
Okay, this is the reality, but there is a concept, Quranic concept. Because, these realities are okay,
Yeah.
but how do you connect these things to Quran? That is more important. So over here, if somebody goes to, let's say, physical game as well, and he or she forgets dunya in a manner which, like he or she forgets Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, deen, etc., all these things. There is a specific concept in Quran for that.
Yeah, there is.
What was that?
Addiction again.
Addiction we don't have in Quran. So okay, if you are going into addiction, you should have covered the topics of intoxicants like muskarat and all those things.
Yeah.
Why even muskarat? When you are referring to a doctor and doctor is prescribing for you something which can enhance your energy level, for example, energy drinks, on hydration drinks, etc. These are also giving you that dopamine
Yes.
at the time when you are doing a practice, etc. But these are not haram.
Yeah.
How come gaming is becoming haram? Because of the same dopamine?
It's
It's
not
not
haram.
dopamine which is making that practice haram. It is something else. And that is the way you said, you have covered in an indicative manner. But clearly the concept should be the lahu and la'ib. That is something that I was looking for. Name for me some of the games that can addict a person.
There's
What are the
Roblox,
top games right now?
Roblox, Fortnite.
Okay, how Roblox can make you addicted?
Uh,
And what negative outcomes can come from Roblox?
Roblox is very addictive. So there's example, maybe lots of screen time, because Roblox is something that you are constantly. You have to constantly
So every
continue.
game is having the same nature.
Yeah.
What is there exactly in Roblox which makes it having negative impacts?
Again, highly stimulating.
So if I'm playing let's say the FIFA or the PES, it's again the stimulating aspect is there.
Yeah, because that's how all games are fashioned.
Okay, but what's wrong with some of the game, not the other?
Not all are very friendly with what we
Can you
should-
find one aspect within the current games that many of your age category are busy with? How many elements can you find which can prohibit them not to get addicted to it?
how many elements
Yeah,
for
yeah,
them
yeah.
not to get addicted.
Yeah.
Um,
Like, for example, you would say, since you are going into this gaming system, there is an element, let's say it's nudity. That is causing you to, come in front of haram. That's why you don't play this game.
yeah,
We understand. Nudity is an aspect which is making this game haram.
yeah.
But you're saying, okay, other games are okay to play. Roblox is okay to play or not?
It's okay to play.
It's okay to play. But it's not okay to get addicted to it.
Yeah,
Why?
because it
Okay,
can
with
take
the same
over
reasons
you.
that you...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm not sure. Are we going to repeat this question again, like for one more time?
Same topic.
Yeah, one more time. So okay. So I'm not giving the answers. There is an answer for this matter as well.
Okay.
Okay. What is the root cause for the youngsters getting addicted to screen?
Maybe lack of good friends.
Lack of good friends. Okay.
Maybe it could come down to even family issues. Maybe it could be a
Okay.
way for someone to escape into.
Where did it start? Like where it can start?
As in?
As in, like somebody is getting addicted to screen.
Yeah.
When you are going back, why this person is getting addicted to screen? Maybe one reason can be the way you said, the friends.
Yeah.
But what is the starting point of this addiction?
Low iman, I guess.
Who caused that? No, low iman is not a reason over there.
Okay.
Many of the mu'min people can get addicted to the gamings as well.
That's true.
So where did it start? Like when somebody is addicted to a gaming, whose mistake is that?
The person.
The person himself or herself?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. How do you define technology?
Technology is something very important in
Mhm.
our era, so it's okay to use it. It's okay to.
What is technology? I want to use it.
Technology is just connecting to the connecting to like technology. I don't know how to explain.
No, it's not that evident.
Did you attend the classes?
No, I didn't.
That's
Did
the
you look
reason.
at the notes?
Yeah, I did.
What are the references you used to prepare your presentation?
There's Al Mizan. There's alislam.org.
Al-Islam is a reference to, like, Al-Islam must have taken it. For example, this is a library. If I give you an example of this library, I have prepared my preparations from this library. Will that
Yeah.
be okay, like as a reference?
Yeah, it's okay.
No, which book from Al-Islam?
From the
Which
library, I'm
Al-Islam.
taking a book.
article?
So just rounding off, like example, when it comes to the ayah. So the tafsir of the ayah, there's lots of them.
So
in
you referred
Al-Islam.
tafsir on
Yeah, and
alislam.org.
then I connected it to the relevant.
So you went
topic.
through the notes. That was
Yes, I did.
so at the beginning of those notes,
Uh-huh.
the definition of technology was mentioned. That Sayyid is asking.
I may not have.
You
seen
must
it.
have missed it.
Yeah.
What is technology? Just recon a definition.
Devices.
That's the problem. Devices is not technology.
Okay.
Devices is like one of the means to execute the technology.
Yeah.
Technology can be anything which is basically decreasing the time to reach to a goal.
Okay, making your life easier.
For sure. So
Yeah.
technology is not something with a very deeper understanding. Even concepts like shafaat and wasila can be a technology as well.
True.
But the spiritual technology.
Yeah.
So
Correct.
technology is not necessarily aligned with always the devices.
Okay.
Devices are one of the technologies. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Khair, Maulana, you have questions? Yeah. Bismillah.
How many minutes? 16 minutes? 17? How many? Okay. You okay?
Yeah.
Fine to go ahead. Okay, you mentioned Dua Arafah in your presentation.
Yes, I did.
Who has recited? Who's the
Imam
main?
Hussein.
Imam Hussein.
Imam
When did that event took place?
On the day of Arafah, on top of the mountain. It's like a whole story of how he went and how he.
Okay, so you talked about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala recognizing his bounties. One of those bounties is hiding the mistakes.
Exactly.
What is the title of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this context?
Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim.
No. One who hides mistakes. There's a title. In Dua Joshan Kabir we mention it. What was the phrase? And by the way, many of the ayats you just mentioned the surah. You're not giving proper number of the ayah. And the hadith which you quoted from Imam Ali sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where did you find that?
From Al-Mizan. No, sorry. Yeah, from Al-Mizan, the hadith part of it.
Al-Mizan. Where did Al-Mizan quote that hadith from?
Nahjul Balagha, I believe.
You sure?
No, I'm not sure.
Okay. Let me ask you one final question. When we talk about addiction, when we talk about these bad habits,
Yeah.
especially in the context that we are talking about gaming and technology, out of many solutions that I have here in my notes, taqwa, tazkiyah, gratitude, remembrance of Allah, and many balance, moderation, things that you also mentioned. Which one do you think is the most strongest weapon against addiction that can help you and protect you?
From the ones I mentioned?
From the
Or
ones I
anything?
mentioned or you mentioned,
Okay.
something, a single most important solution that you can offer a youth that this is what you have to do,
Okay.
and don't give them a sophisticated answer. We have to
Yeah.
give them one solution,
Okay.
one tablet a day. This is your tablet, this is your medicine, this is your prescription. Do this. What is that solution and why?
Okay, so I would say, for me specifically, example, I would say strengthening your iman. Strengthening your iman, that would connect you to being able to do tadabbur and muhasibah. Sit down with yourself and contemplate, reason out, think about what you've done, think about how your life is going, think about how what you're doing can help you or how it could harm you. And
To a 13-year-old, if you talk about iman and you go on explaining all these things,
Okay,
he'll
so
go
again,
and
I would
play
say
more
muhasibah.
games and will not listen to you.
muhasibah, sitting down with yourself and just
So you're
writing
saying
down.
iman is not the solution, muhasiba is.
But eventually,
You're changing your answer?
No, I believe
Okay.
it eventually builds up.
Now give me
I-
one solution. Give me a very simple answer. I'm addicted to gaming.
Okay, balance.
Tell me something. What do I do?
Balance.
Balance what and balance how?
Balance your day out. Set schedules. Set reminders. Set timers. Maybe even if you have like something where your device can just shut down,
Okay.
or ways to stop yourself.
Got your
basically.
point.
Yeah.
Good point. Nice. But where from Quran can you prove your point? Balancing.
Balancing. وَلَا تُسْرِفُوا وَاللَّهُ يُحِبُّ الْمُسْرِفِينَ is what I can.
Okay. Nothing else?
No.
Nothing about management, how, because basically you're talking about management.
Yeah. So
When you manage, that's the end result, balancing. You end up balancing.
So there's an ayah in the Quran that says, I'm not sure. The ayah says that you should divide your day into three parts. So for tijara, meaning business and work and stuff.
Quran says to divide these days?
No, to
Or a
divide
hadith.
your day.
Okay.
To divide your day into three parts. So for leisure, for tijara, and I forgot the last one.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank Thank you so much for your presentation. Um, Collectively, it was nice, and I think to a good extent you were able to understand many of the things. I think for future, you need to focus more on the deeper understanding. Some of the answers were not very much relevant. Try to understand the relevance of the questions first, and then go with the answers. I wanted to refer to one of the ayats in Surah Al-Rahman, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about this balance. Until I find the ayah. Okay, so even with the same ayah that you are referring to, if you recite it in a complete manner, kulu washrabu wala tusrifu, that would make more sense about the balance in life. See, when you are saying muhasaba is very important, the criteria of muhasaba is equally important. When somebody, let's say, doing the muhasaba, I'm having 24 hours, I'll sleep 4 hours, I'll play 18 hours. This is also a muhasaba. And let's say after the muhasaba, the person is not regretting 18 hours of play. A person can say, I'm having 24 hours, 12 hours I'll sleep, 10 hours I will play, and again 2 hours I'll do something else. Again, muhasaba is there, but it is not based on a correct criteria. So muhasaba has to be hand in hand with iman and with the correct criteria. Correct criteria comes with the purpose of life.
We can say like muhasaba is something that is going to benefit you. So if you see your muhasaba is not benefiting you, then maybe it's not the correct muhasaba.
No, muhasaba means calculation, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
so I'm calculating. Let's say I'm a person addicted to gaming and technology. So I will say I'll play Roblox 4 hours. I'll play FIFA for 10 hours. I'll play, I don't know, Battlefield 8 for 8 hours. Okay. Muhasaba has happened, but it didn't happen on a correct criteria. Basis, That is why it is very important when you are doing the muhasaba, you should be having that scale of right and wrong. Yeah, whether the muhasaba is hitting the right thing or not. And that should be the purpose of life. Whatever purpose of life you are having in your life, that can define the correct or wrong muhasaba of yours. Thank you so much. I think we've covered our 25 minutes of questions. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Your question is question number 5. How can the Quran help me cope with anxiety and the school related pressure? So you can select your papers to be over there. Rest of the paper should be given to the volunteers. You have 3 to 5 minutes to prepare your mind. Then let us know when you will start, okay?
How can the Quran help me cope with anxiety and school-related pressure? Today, many students feel pressure from school, the exams, the homework, the parents' expectations, the teachers' expectations, the comparison with others, and the fear of failing. But sometimes this pressure sits heavy in the heart and turns into anxiety. First of all, what is anxiety? Anxiety is a feeling of worry. It's a feeling of state of mind when you feel that you can't do anything. You go sit in a room alone. You feel all alone, even though you have everyone around you. You feel you have to be alone. But in these things, the Quran helps us. How does it help us? The first problem is feeling overwhelmed and thinking everything is too much. Sometimes school feels like everything is a lot. The assignments, the tests, the deadlines, and expectations come together. So we start to think that I can't handle this, or I'm not good enough for this. But Allah has said in the Quran, لا يكلفون نفسا إلا وسعها. In Surah Baqarah, ayah 186. Allah does not burden a soul beyond it can bear. This shows that Allah gives us anxiety in our capacity. He doesn't give us a lot of anxiety or more anxiety than we can handle. The second problem we face is restlessness, heart, and constant worry. So anxiety makes the heart feel unsettled. Even when we sit still, the mind keeps running. And we start to worry about marks, grades, and other things. But Allah has said, أَلَا بِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ تَتَمَّنُ الْقُلُوبِ. Surely in the remembrance of Allah, the hearts do find peace. Surah Rad, ayah 28. This shows that when facing anxiety and school-related pressure, we should understand that Allah is always with us, and Allah says that maybe our sin is a barrier between me and Allah. So I have to first remember Allah. I have to first do the needy in sense of I have to pray, I have to do the things Allah has told me. Maybe the anxiety can go away. Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq alayhi salam has said, Dhikrullahi shifa'un al-qulub. The remembrance of Allah is a cure for hearts. And in Nahjul Balaga, Imam Ali alayhi salam has said, As-sabru min al-imani karas min al-jasad. Patience is faith like the head to the body. This shows that if we are patient with anxiety, if we are patient with the marks we get in anxiety, the marks we get in our test papers, or the expectations filled within us, we can understand that we can understand by being patient. The third thing is fear of results. The third problem. So this problem happens to all of us. Right now we want to be the best and we want to get the best grades, we want to be the best footballer, for instance. So we start to get anxiety, and this is really a burden to us. But Allah has said twice to comfort us in Surah Ash-Shura, ayah 5 and 6, Inna ma'al usri yusra, inna ma'al usri yusra. For indeed hardship is ease, indeed hardship is ease. This shows that while facing anxiety and school-related pressure, while facing expectations of people, or while test results are disturbing you, you should understand that Allah will not give you hardship. And if He gives you hardship, He'll give you the ease to relieve the hardship. So it's between us. If we have faith in Allah, we will understand that He gives us ease. The fourth thing is the fourth problem is comparing ourselves with others. So we should understand that Allah has given everyone honor. Because Allah has said in Surah Isra, ayah 70, we have honored the children of Adam. This shows that each one of us is honored with a dignity Allah has set for us. So we shouldn't let a test paper, or we shouldn't let anxiety or school-related pressure tell us that our dignity is downer than what Allah has set for us. Imam Ali alayhi salam has said in Nahjul Balaga, Qadrul mar ya yuhsinu. Oppression's value is what they do well. A person's value is what they do well, sorry. So this shows that if we understand that we are supposed to do well in life, that we have come for a reason in life. We have come, this is just a test in life, and this is just a world which will end. We understand that we will understand that we have value and it will not last. And the fifth problem is feeling alone with stress. So Allah has said in Surah Hadith, Ayah 4, He is with you wherever you are. So sometimes you feel that you're alone, facing anxiety, facing school-related pressure, but we should understand that Allah is with us wherever we are. Not only doing good things, not only going to the majlis, He's with us, or not doing, or not praying namaz, He's next to us, He's with us. He's also with us in our bad times. He doesn't want us to face hardship, but He wants to see how much patience, how much iman we have towards Him. And Allah, in Nahj al-Balagha, ayah 123, Imam Ali alayhi salam said, Man tawakkala ala al-kafa, whoever relies on Allah is enough for him. And also in Surah Fussilat, Allah has said that repel evil with in Surah Furqan, He said that the most merciful people are the ones who work humbly in the world. And when this shows that if you get bad marks and you see someone is getting good, you should understand that even if you're getting bad, or even if someone is addressing you for getting the bad marks you got, you should ignore them, because Allah has said the best reply you can give to a person is peace. This is one of the problems we can face, that people bully us for the anxiety we get, because many people think anxiety is not real, it's all upon someone and you can fix it. But it's really hard to fix it once you have gotten it. So if an ignorant person comes to you and tries to pull you down, you should understand what Allah has said and you should reply with peace. So to conclude this, I would like to say that anxiety is real, stress is real, and our worry is real. But Allah's mercy is also real. We should understand that Allah has set a whole thing for us, a whole plan. He knows the best of plan for us. He knows the things we do, the things we don't do, or other stuff. So if we face anxiety, we should have sabr, we should have patience, we should have resilience, and we should understand that Allah is always with us. Shukran.
How many minutes? 8 minutes. Thank you so much, Jazakumullah Khairash, for your wonderful presentation. I would like to start with some of the definitions. You explained a bit, but I would like to understand more. What is exactly anxiety?
It's a feeling of worry. You feel like you're not in your state of mind. So it's something like stress, but more deep into it.
So what is the difference between stress and anxiety?
So stress is a lighter thing. It's like you get stress, it will go, it will come. But it's like, for example, right now if I've come here, I'll have stress. I won't have anxiety, because anxiety is deeper. I would want to go in a room locked. That's anxiety. But stress is something like right now, if someone is feeling it, it will go, it's a small thing.
But anxiety will remain.
Yes.
Okay. So from the Quranic ayat, what story of Quran can you relate to when you are talking about stress? Do you have any examples from the previous maybe individuals, I would say, like from amongst the prophets or other people, anyone who went through the stress, Quran mentioned the person, any indications?
I'm not sure.
So the way you said, the anxiety is a matter of fear, or we are worried about something. Don't you remember any of the prophets who were worried about something? No remembrance. So, for example, let's say when Hazrat Musa was leaving Egypt with the people, how was it like? He was
Okay,
completely.
I have one.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but maybe when Imam Hussein, he only had 72 people.
Mhm.
Or in the Battle of Uhud, there were only 300 people fighting against 1,000 men. So this shows that if this will build up anxiety because
So
obviously...
you don't have any reference for these two stories. Imam Hussein has been mentioned in Quran, like
No.
his stress. No.
No.
So you don't have any such. Okay, can you relate to any of the people who were living with the prophets? Any female individual living with the prophets? Okay, it's okay. You presented a number of solutions. Before reaching to solutions, I would like to ask you, stress and anxiety, is it a good thing or is it a bad habit or bad thing?
It's not intentionally. It comes to you.
So it is a negative
Yeah,
practice.
yes.
So why Allah has kept it in ourselves?
Because Allah is trying to like show us that even if you have anxiety, maybe He would still He wants to like test us if we can. Maybe this is just a test. He wants to see if we can pass through this.
So He has kept a wrong or negative aspect within us to test us.
Yeah, maybe.
What kind of test is that? Like you are, let's say I want to test you, I'll just throw you out of a wall or something to test you whether you'll survive or not. I'll test you with something which is like which is positive.
For example, let's take an example of Bibi Zainab. She was thrown in the court of Yazid, and she was.
But Allah didn't bring through her.
No, but she went. Okay, she went inside,
Mhm.
and all her family members passed that time. But
Okay.
this was a test from Allah. So
did
not
Allah
all.
cause that that death or that
No, but not
martyrdom?
all tests can be good. Sometimes it's bad. Sometimes it could be bad to see if we still have the faith in Allah.
Okay, in external tests are completely understandable. What about the habits or the elements that we are having as a human being?
Maybe He wants to see how we can handle it in a
With the
right way or
negative
a
thing.
wrong way.
With the
Yeah.
negative thing. Anger is negative or positive?
It's negative.
Negative. Okay. See.
Or it's also a natural thing.
Natural thing.
Yes.
So why we are discouraging the anger?
Because you can do something which, okay, when we feel angry, we can do something we don't even remember after a while. Because even scientifically, it's not good to have anger. When you have anger, you should go to therapy or something. But
Okay.
now we are using the Quranic ayahs. So
Okay. So another example, being harsh, is it a good habit or not?
it depends. No.
Why over here answer it depends? Like being harsh, let's say there is a kid who's coming towards you with maybe something to throw. You will become harsh and hit the person
No, you
back?
won't hit him. You
won't
would
hit.
explain him.
But let's change the situation. There is a lion coming towards you to attack you. Will you be very gentle the same manner you were
No.
with the kid?
No.
Why you have changed your method?
Because if you don't, you would die. So you would
that means being
self-defense.
harsh depends what situation you're talking about.
Yeah.
How about anger? If
Yeah.
somebody is let's say, let me give you an example from Quran. Hazrat Musa, when he came back from the 40 days that he was away from the nation, when he came back and saw the people went towards the shirk, they have become the idol worshippers.
Yeah.
The first thing that Quran quotes is that he got angry. He threw the books that he had in hands. He went to his brother. He got angry. What have you done? Why has Hazrat Musa have become angry?
As I said, anger is a natural thing. So
Okay.
it would build up in you. For example, if I see someone doing something I don't like, I would get angry. It's a natural thing.
So you are saying anger can also be positive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm coming to anxiety. Anxiety is a negative thing or positive thing?
Depends.
So, okay, you changed your answer
Yeah.
then, yeah? So initially you said anxiety is a negative thing.
Yeah.
But now we are understanding that it can be one of those things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has kept within us. So we are reacting to some of the negative things. When something threatening coming towards you, if you are not reacting in a proper manner, that can harm you. When something, let's say there's a stone coming towards you, that can harm you. You are coming over here to present, and you said you are having stress for that stage. What has this stress caused in you? When you were preparing for QIML, did you have stress?
Yeah, because if I did it before,
Mhm.
like if I did it late, and then it's time, like
Mhm.
right now as I did it, I was
Mhm.
stressed because
So what this stress has caused within you?
less of speaking, not speaking well.
Let's say let's talk about the stress that was there, that was causing you to come to madrasa for the training, for example, or that was causing you to dedicate your 3-4 hours on a day or 2 hours on a day. Even when you were sick, you were sending the notes, etc. Yeah. So what was that energy? Where that energy was coming from? That energy is also an outcome of a stress and anxiety, but not the negative one. It's similar to anger, when you are showing your anger in terms of avoiding a harm. Similar to, let's say, the other, being a harsh towards a wild animal, for example. Yeah. So can I ask you last question based on this discussion? What is the thing that we are discouraging? Is it anxiety or stress itself?
The negative aspects of anxiety and stress, which is leading to more harm towards us.
Okay. So the other words, like nutshell, is the same thing. That stress itself is like inbuiltly and innately it's not wrong.
Yeah,
What is wrong is
the
that
negative aspects.
aspect of it, when you are taking it too seriously, when it is harming you, when it is causing you not to be yourself, for example. Okay. Maulana, aap continue.
So, Fatima Zahra, thank you for that presentation. Nicely presented, and even though you had some difficult time summarizing, but you tried to. Okay, I will give you some of the translations that you recited, the ayats and riwayats especially. Translations were not. Yes. So the translations were not proper. And some of the pronunciations I was noting down, for example, the ayah that you recited, which has the word tatma'in qulub, itminan. It talked about itminan. Pronunciation was not proper. I'm giving you one more chance to translate. Don't look at the paper. You mentioned about a hadith where Imam Ali talks about qimatu kulli imri'in ma yuhsinuh. What is the translation?
Can you repeat that?
قيمة كل امرئ ما يحسنه. You remember mentioning this?
Yes. I don't remember the English.
Okay, so why did you mention? Because you read out the Arabic text
Yeah.
also. Why were you reading out this? Do you remember what context were you talking about? قيمة كل امرئ. The price of every individual is the value
The
of.
value of. Okay, should I explain why I said it, or
No, I need the translation.
value? It's something about value.
Yes, but what is the translation? قيمة كل امرئ. The value of every individual is based upon what? What is the meaning of ما يحسنه?
Patience.
ما يحسنه. You translated it wrong. Okay, there was an ayah that you recited about. I believe you were talking about sabr and all. So you said Quran says إنما العسر
Yusra.
yusra. What is the translation?
Indeed, with hardship comes ease.
Okay, with hardship comes ease. And then?
With hardship comes ease.
Okay. I might have heard wrong the first time. Okay. So let's see. while you were preparing for your notes and your research, did anyone help you?
No.
No?
Yeah.
Any teacher?
We had classes.
Maulana was there,
Yeah.
you did not ask his assistance? You took his help? And did you attend the classes?
Yes.
You were there in the classes?
Yeah.
Did you see the notes?
Yeah.
What is anxiety, basically, what Maulana was asking? Is there any term that defines anxiety in Quran?
The Arabic or
The Arabic term.
of anxiety?
Or maybe you can have a positive reply to this or a negative reply. Let me hear that out. Do you have a proper translation of anxiety in Quran?
I would just say it's not a negative, neither a positive
No.
thing.
Do you have a translation of anxiety? What is anxiety in Quran? How does Quran talk about anxiety? Because you were reciting ayats. So what was your first step towards Quran when you saw this topic in front of you? You know, you are going towards Quran to learn how to deal with anxiety and how to deal with this school-related pressure.
Yeah.
So how did you start, turning pages, searching? How do you perceive this?
What is the concept in Quran that you found which is based on anxiety?
So Quran, let me help you out. Quran doesn't talk directly about anxiety.
Yeah.
Okay, there is no exact term that can, define anxiety.
Yeah, I didn't use the specific, since as you said, there was no specific verses
Mhm.
about anxiety,
Yes.
but I used the problems. So I said that
So
they are
how did you
problems.
go to this problem? What was the
The
concept in your
daily
mind?
life.
The daily life.
Yeah, I
What
used
problems you are facing? What is that problem?
comparison.
Comparison. So comparison leads to anxiety.
Yes.
So what is that problem? How do you see comparison in Quran? How do you go and find out this ayah? I want to see that process. How did you go to Quran? You thought about comparison, but what is comparison in Arabic?
I didn't.
Did you really go and search the translation and then found out the ayat? Or?
Yeah, I first wrote all the problems in one
Mhm.
paper, and then I took the comparison phrase and I searched on Google. Some verses came. Then I choose the best one. Then I went to alislam.org to find there are many different meanings of the verse. So I chose the best one and I
Mhm.
kept it in my speech.
So let me. How many more minutes do we have? 10 more minutes. For example, we have this concept of huzn. Yes, we have this concept of bala, or we have this concept of khawf. Can these things lead to anxiety?
Yeah.
Because you were talking in your problems that you mentioned, 4, 5, 6, how many? Some of them you talked about fear, you talked about comparison. So Quran talks about huzn and khawf.
Yes.
So is it all positive? Is it all negative? Or is it it depends?
It depends.
It depends on the
Yes.
situation. So the first statement that you made, your opening remarks, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts anxiety in our hearts. That means anxiety is not negative
No.
or positive, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not going to give
No.
you something negative.
Okay, I changed it now. It's built in us, but
my
it
only
depends on
concern,
us.
you have Maulana has dealt with that. Don't give
Yeah.
me the reply. My only concern is that what was your process when you were trying to prepare your notes? I want to just understand that.
For
How did you start? You went on
Oh,
Google, you thought
yes.
of what is your perception about?
So first I used the form. I first wrote the meanings of anxiety, and I just
So
first explained.
what were these meanings? That is what I'm trying to ask you. What did you write?
Oh, I wrote in the paper.
Yeah.
Should I read it or
No,
from
just
my
tell
head?
me.
Okay, I wrote that anxiety is a feeling of worriness. It's a feeling of you feel that you cannot do something.
So this is the problem.
Yeah.
And you want a solution
Yes.
from Quran,
Yeah.
so that you can say, Quran, in my life, this is how Quran is solving this problem
Yes.
from my life.
Yeah.
So now how do you find the solution in Quran? Did you go to Google? Did you ask
Yes.
Maulana? What did
So
you do?
first I took the problem, as I said.
Mhm.
Then I found some verses.
How
then
did
I
you find
took
those
it-
verses?
I went to Google, I searched the problem, and then
How did you search? What did you ask Google to exactly give you?
The problem, for example, a problem of comparing. So I said, how does the
How
Quran...
did you reach this to the problem of comparing?
From my head, from the daily life. So if I get, if you get anxiety, one of the problems is comparison. So if I take comparison and I keep it and I relate it to some ayahs, then I went to al-Islam.org. I saw some of the specific, there were many ayahs, and I chose one of them.
Okay, Ahsan. Let me ask you one more thing.
So only just one thing that you repeated several times over here, that one of the problems is this. See, problems can be a factor, problems can be a manifestation or outcome. So the ones that you are mentioning are the factors of anxiety, not the problems. Why you are getting an anxiety? Because you have comparison. Why you are getting anxiety? Because you have too much load of schoolwork, etc. Yeah. Now let's say someone is having the anxiety itself. Now some of the other problems comes in. Those are called problems. The ones that you are mentioning are the factors or causes. Yeah, those are the causes, and these are the effects. Like anxiety itself is the effect. Okay. When you have the anxiety, the problems are that you are not socializing. The problem is that you are not yourself. The problem is that you are feeling lonely. The problem is that you are, I don't know, so much grieved, so much stressed, so much feared.
Yeah.
These are the outcomes as a problem coming after the anxiety. So like you have to change the term of what are the problems, those are the factors or the causes that you are referring to. But still we are not convinced how you are reaching to one ayah. So for example, I'm having a cause which is comparison, which can lead to anxiety. Yeah?
Yes.
So how do I find an ayah for comparison, for anxiety? And if anxiety is leading to another problem, how do I find an ayah for that? It's only Google?
I just chose, I didn't use many verses, as I
Okay.
said. So I took the problem, the factor, then I searched it, as I said.
On Google.
Then, I found 2-3 verses. So I chose Surah Isra for the comparison, and it said, we have honored the children of Adam. So I went to al-Islam.org, and there were many, different...
So you could
Yeah.
have searched like give me an ayah from Quran which talks about comparison.
Yes. Then
And-
I used my knowledge from the
Why
ayah,
didn't you search, give me an ayah for anxiety?
because I wanted to talk about the problems. Then I join all
Problem
of
was
them.
the anxiety. Anxiety itself is a problem.
No, the reasons you get anxiety and how you
Okay.
can solve them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when I chose the reasons and I kept it together with the solutions, maybe your anxiety can reduce, or how you can manage your anxiety nicely.
School-related pressure is the reason for anxiety, or anxiety is the reason for school-related pressure?
School-related pressure.
So,
So-
school-related pressure is the result of anxiety.
Yes. When you get test papers and all, you start to worry about
Okay.
the cause.
You mentioned the ignoring the ignorant, and how to ignore what they are saying.
Yes.
And you mentioned one of the ayats from the Holy Quran, where you say you reply them with peace.
Yes.
You did not mention the ayah Arabic text. Can
I
you?
don't remember the specific number, but I remember the surah
Yeah.
name.
The ayah itself, even if you don't remember the surah name and the ayah.
It said
إِذَا
the peop-
خَاطَبَ
the people of the... I say the Arabic or the English?
Arabic.
I'm not sure of the Arabic. I know the English.
خَاطَبَهُمُ
translation.
الْجَاهِلُونَ قَالُوا سَلَامًا. Did you go through the notes? You said yes. We were talking about sabr as one of the solutions. How many types of sabr we discussed?
Which notes? The
Sabr,
ones-
patience. There were the 3 types of patience.
Notes that we shared in the...
No, I didn't see them.
Okay.
No.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So, if I want to refer to the chapter of Surah Maryam and story of Hazrat Maryam, do you find any element in her story which can reflect the matter of stress?
No.
Do you remember the state when Lady Mary brought Hazrat Isa with her to the society? What was the reaction of the society at that time to Hazrat
They
Maryam?
didn't want the child.
Society didn't want.
Yeah.
Why
think.
they don't want to have a child?
I'm not sure of that.
What was
Is
the
it-
story about like that time when Lady Mary brought Hazrat Isa?
They didn't want any boy or something.
That was Hazrat Musa's time. You're talking about Hazrat Maryam when she brought Hazrat Isa in front of the people. What was the reaction of the people at that time?
I'm not sure.
Okay. How about the stress that there is an ayah in Quran, Rabbi inni maghlubun fantasir. Whose ayah is whose statement is this? What Nabi has given this statement?
Nabi Isa? Can I know the English?
It's like, oh Lord, I have been defeated, so help me.
Musa? Nabi.
Even from story of Hazrat Musa, do you remember any element where Hazrat Musa was feared of something?
No.
Okay. Any practical thing, for example, for youngsters, if they are having stress, how do they resolve the stress when they are getting the stress?
They should understand that Allah does not burden us all beyond they can bear, beyond its capacity. So if Allah gives us anxiety, He gives us, He doesn't give us more than our capacity.
So when Allah gave you to prepare 2 papers instead of 7, this
Yes.
was within your capacity.
Yes.
So why were you stressed?
I shouldn't have been stressed.
Okay. You know, stress caused you to prepare the 7 paper into 2 papers and still manage to present.
Yes.
If stress was not there, you would say, like, I'm not doing this. Okay. MashaAllah. Thank you. Jazakumullah khairah. Ahsant. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So your question is question number 3 again. So the question goes, how can the Quran help me manage gaming and technology use without falling into addiction? You have 3 to 5 minutes to prepare your mind.
Rahim, my question was, how can the Quran help me manage gaming and technology use without falling into addiction? So from the question, I'm going to look deeper into the word of help. When does someone need help? When they're in trouble, when they're having a hard time with something, that's when they need help. So in this case, the Quran is meant to help me manage the two factors here are gaming and technology use without falling into addiction. So that's that's where the line is drawn. I can do both of them without falling into addiction. So let me start with gaming. Gaming is playing games online, like mentioned before. Some that were mentioned was example PlayStation. Games are put inside to play, like FIFA. What else? And for some people, the whole concept is the more you play, the more you get. So if it's put in a way that it's motivating you to become better, then that is very good. But the line is drawn when you start getting that hype of, I need to do it more, I need to get more, and I'm not going to stop until I get what I want. Some kind of games of today are played online, which in the positive side is that you get to interact with more people. You connect with people from different parts of the world, which is a good thing, but that is also a very big risk to you yourself, because you're exposing yourself with people you may or may not know. That depends on how you're playing. And you chat with random people, which is again not bad, because you're communicating with them and you're getting to socialize. Addiction itself, if I were to define it, is being hooked, being like, I cannot proceed without doing it. Like, it has to happen my way. I need to keep doing it. I can't stop. And addiction, I think the moment you realize you're addicted is when you yourself cannot stop yourself from doing it. Where do games like come in the whole situation of addiction? So games, if you were to ask me, games were meant to some people it's a stress relief. Like, I know people play Candy Crush, and for them it's like, okay, I'm stressed, I'm playing this game, it helps me. It builds skills. Many games build skills, like for example Minecraft, Roblox. It's a lot of building, it's a lot of how to manage what you have and building skills. So that's a positive aspect. Some games are Islamic, and that's what spreads Islam message these days, since everything is online. And that's a very, very good thing. Like over here, even in the QC, you can see there are many, many interactive games, and that's how we're all learning more. Where does it come into the situation of abuse? Abuse itself is when you misuse something. Abusing your freedom is misusing your freedom. Abusing the games and technology that you use is misusing what has been given to you.
and that is not good. I'm going to go ahead and talk about technology. Technology is something you cannot get rid of in the life of today. In the era of today, it's everywhere. You cannot avoid it. So you cannot say that, okay, I'm going to stop using technology as one of my solutions. It has to be there. It's even what is helping us today, and we don't even realize it. So again, the boundaries are drawn when you misuse what has been given to you. For games, people play all night. They pull all-nighters. They don't sleep. And in Surah Naba, which is the 78th surah, they mention وَجَعَلْنَا نَوْمَكُمْ سُبَاتًا وَجَعَلْنَا اللَّيْلَ لِبَاسًا. Verse number 9 translates to, and we have made your sleep to be rest for you. That means the sleep was made for you to rest, not for you to spend your time for something else. And ayat number 10 translates to, and we have made the night to be a covering. That means at night time, it is your time to rest. The night was made for you to like sit down, contemplate about your day, and go to sleep, because that sleep is one of the ni'mas Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to us. It is for our own benefit. And when we don't follow what, or we don't pay attention to what our body needs, then we end up just getting sick. If you're sleep deprived, then you cannot function properly in the morning. And that is when you misuse what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to you. So for all this, the Quran has been sent as a guide for us, and it is very important that moderation is there, balance. Gaming and technology is not bad. Again, I mentioned you cannot run away from them in the world of today, but you have to balance them. Because otherwise you're going to lose your control, and you're not going to be able to control yourself. Like I mentioned before, is when you realize that you don't have boundaries on yourself as well. When you're so engrossed in your games, when you're so engrossed in using technology, I mean online, maybe the devices that you use, when you're engrossed, less physical movement is done. That's not good for your health. Some of the outcomes is obesity, which causes breathing problems. You socially, you don't get to talk to people a lot, even though some of the games are where you talk to people online, but you don't get that physical, when someone is in front of you, you will not know how to react, because you're just used to listening to someone's voice and responding on that. Your interactions decrease, as I just mentioned, and laziness is a very, very strong factor in this whole thing, because you get very used to sitting in one place, not used to doing anything the whole day. You just want to sit there and play your game. Again, games are permissible. There's nothing wrong with games, but just make sure what you're playing is right. It's going to benefit you. Okay, maybe not all the games you play are going to benefit you, but as long as you know that you're not going to do anything wrong with them, as long as you know your day is not getting wasted because of them, then that's when you know that, okay, what I'm doing is okay for me. In Surah Fatiha, which is the first surah, in verses 6 and 7, it said, Ihdina siratal mustaqim, where we ask that keep us on the right path. Whatever we do, make sure that we're not diverted in what we do. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين, which translates to the path which you bestow favors upon, not the ones you drown in wrath, or the ones who go astray. Here we're asking that we want to be in that path where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is content with us, where He's bestowing His favors, His blessings upon us, and not that path where He's disappointed with the people who are taking that path, where He's just looking down at His people, and He's like, I've guided them, but they're misusing what I've given them. So we ask for this. Also, we know that habit is also a very important thing, and the more you do something, habits come by constantly doing something. So when you sit yourself down and you play those games, it slowly becomes part of your daily routine. And as Imam Ali alayhi salam has mentioned in Ghurur al-Hikam, number 702, habit is second nature. It slowly builds into your nature itself. So if you're playing a game that has a lot of bad words, for example, I'm taking a negative aspect, it will, and you keep doing it, it slowly becomes a habit, and that habit slowly becomes your nature. You will find yourself using those words, and it becomes part of your nature. and that is not good. And how does this negativity come in? It's all because of shaitan, and we all know that. In Surah Nas, they mentioned alladhi yuwaswisu fi suduri nas, those whispers that shaitan will put into you. He will try to divert you from what you believe in, and this is what he has promised to Allah at the time he said he is not going to bow down to Prophet Adam, that I will do my best to divert your people to come to my path. And this is what he's doing. So therefore it's very important, again I come back to my point of balance, because gaming and technology use is not bad. We cannot get rid of it in the world of today again, but that's why it's important for us to have a moderation, to have a balance. Plan out your day. If I'm playing this game, okay, fine, it may not be very relevant to me, it may not benefit me in any way, but okay, I'm playing it, I'm keeping it for this time. If it's benefiting me, maybe I'll give it more time, but if this is the time I've put for it, then I'll stick to that time. That's how you know you're not going to fall into addiction, because you have control over yourself. You have not lost your control, and that is the main concept of addiction, that you have your control. Whatever you're doing, you know you have power over whatever you do, and as long as that is there, then you cannot fall into anything that shaitan puts you to do. Thank you.
Ahsans, Jazakumullah khaira for a wonderful presentation of yours. First of all, I would, because you have covered only 10 minutes, I would like to give you 2 more minutes to ask you for the solutions that you are giving from Quran. Like, let's say gaming is there, gaming is good, gaming is bad, addiction is good, addiction is bad. But what about Quran? We are looking back to Quran, like we are asking Quran to give us a solution. So, do you want to add something, or shall I ask my questions?
You can ask your question.
Okay. How do you find a concept in Quran when the concept is not directly mentioned in Quran?
Okay, so again, the Quran is something that was used in the past, and it's always going to be used in the future without being changed, and that is the beauty of it. So at that time, whatever they had, the Quran presented the solutions for it, and whatever we have today, the era that we're living in, the Quran also is equally, we can still refer to it. So again, as I mentioned, moderation is very important, and again, like in the Quran, like I mentioned from one of my ayats from the first surah itself, where we ask Allah keep us on the right path. So when we pray to Allah,
our topic is gaming, and you're saying gaming is not mentioned in Quran.
Gaming is not mentioned in Quran, but gaming is one of the factors that could potentially divert us from what we have set our
So
minds
it can anything can divert,
Anything, yes.
make us go astray. So for example, let's say we are traveling can be something like that. So again, can I connect the traveling to Ihdina Siratal Mustaqim? Ihdina Siratal Mustaqim is a very general statement, general ayah, which covers all aspects of our lives. Yes, for in every aspect we are in need of that guidance. But does that make that ayah connected to the topic? Like collectively, I won't connect to that ayah. When somebody is telling me, can you give me an aspect of Quran talking about gaming, do I connect to Ihdina Siratal Mustaqim? Yes, generally I connect. But what about the direct examples? Can you present some of the examples from Quran which are directly presented as a game, good games, bad games? First of all, clarify what type of gaming we are talking about over here.
If you're talking about the games that are having a negative impact on you, then it's very important that you cut them down as soon as possible.
Does the question say that?
Without falling into addiction. Gaming again has the negative, as I just mentioned, and the positive. When you fall into addiction, it could be the game that is positive or has no negative in it, or it could also be the game that is negative.
What is the Arabic word for gaming? No idea. So see, when you are getting that question as one of your topics, the first thing that you need to do is to find a equivalent in Arabic for that. Because you want to search Quran, whether the Quran has this topic in it or not. if we didn't have the term la'ib in Quran, you could have said that Quran didn't mention the gaming directly.
Okay.
But we have several examples of la'ib. La'ib is a term for game. We have la'ib as a noun, we have la'ib as a verb as well. You remember the story of Hazrat Yusuf?
Of when his brothers.
Okay, what did the brothers say at that time? Where is Quran? In Surah to Yusuf, the brothers say, Yarta' wa yal'ab. Oh Father, allow us to take Yusuf with us because we want to play with him. This is what Quran says. So yal'ab is there. And what was the reaction of Hazrat Yaqub?
He was hesitant.
Hesitant, but allowed or didn't allow?
He allowed them.
Allowed. So that means he allowed for gaming. So we have a direct mention of gaming over there, isn't it?
Yes, but maybe in the context of the question, gaming and technology use. So isn't it kind of relating to the gaming that we have of this era, because technology use was not in the past era?
So we have to come step by step. I think in the previous presentation I clarified. The question doesn't say gaming technology. It says gaming and technology. Yes, to some in some of the examples it will relate to each other, because we are having gamings on cyberspace as well, like the way the virtual games are working. You mentioned very well. But I'm talking about the gaming itself. So we have examples of gaming. Why I'm asking this, why I'm bringing this, because when you don't have the virtual games, the video games in Quran, how do you understand the hukm about it? The first question that I ask you. You will find the hukm by finding the most similar concept in Quran. Gaming itself is mentioned in Quran. Yarta' wa yal'ab. See, I've brought over here. لقد كان في يوسف وإخوته آيات للسائلين. He comes to this. Okay, ayah number, I think it is ayah number 12. The brothers said, أرسله معنا غدا يرتع ويلعب وإنا له لحافظون. Let him go with us tomorrow so that he may eat lots of fruits and play. See, yal'ab as a gaming, play. So my point was that the nearest concept that we are having in Quran is the play, is the game, which is not the which is not the virtual game. Yeah. So when you get the concept of that game, you can then resemble it to the video game as well.
Games, okay.
This is what that's why I've asked. How do you find the concept which is not there in the Quran? On one hand, generally, la ratbin wa la yabisin illa fi kitabin mubin. Everything is mentioned in Quran. On the other hand, when you go and search the words of Quran, you won't find the term gaming over there or the technology over there. So what will you do is that you will find the nearest concept. Nearest concept is the game. When you go and find the Arabic version of it, it will be la'ib basically. So do you have any idea what perspective Allah is giving to la'ib? Is it a good thing? Hazrat Yaqub allowed them to play. That means it is permissible. But on the other hand, do you have any other perspective, like is it allowed, is it not allowed?
Okay, so as I also mentioned before, was that gaming is not bad. But
Okay. Any Quranic reference for that?
Like generally, if it's not diverting you from what you've set your values to, then no, it's not. It's not bad.
Is that a Islamic ruling? Yeah, like in Islam, what is the general ruling? Things have to be clarified and stated as halal first. Per se, the practices are halal or haram.
I mean, if the practices are not going against what Islam has also put for you, or what Allah has also reserved away from you, then it's not anything wrong.
Yeah, your answer is correct. But a bit of here and there, I think it can be better. Collectively, your answer is the same answer. Like we have many riwayat which approve this idea that kullu shay'in laka halal hatta ta'lama annahu haram. Like everything is permissible for you unless you find out that it is haram for you. So there are a couple of practices haram. For example, taking usury, riba is haram. For example, many other practices which are haram clearly stated. Except those practices, all things are haram. All things are halal. So in this case of la'ib, do you remember anything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that this is not allowed, or this is prohibited, this is discouraged from Quran? Okay, we found one example of la'ib which was allowed. What examples can you provide which are not allowed in Quran?
I know games of like basically gambling. I know it's mentioned somewhere. I just don't know the Arabic verse or the meaning itself, but I know it's definitely mentioned in the Quran because I came across it once.
It's Surah Maida, ayah number 90. Surah Maida, ayah number 90 says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu innamal khamru wal maisiru wal ansabu wal azlamu rijsum min amali shaytani fajtanabihu la'allakum tuflihun. So the terms of maisir, ansab, azlam, these are the things. Okay, that Quran mentions over here, out of which you can say the maisir is something which is including the one that you're mentioning. So see, when you are deriving a hukm from Quran, what we are expecting from you is that you find the nearest possible concept. You will find, how would you derive the hukm? You'd say, okay, we have one instance of Hazrat Yusuf and Yaqub, where Hazrat Yaqub has allowed a gaming. We have another example of one instance of a game which is not allowed, ansab, maisir, which is the like gambling, etc. Yeah. So when you found these two examples, you can say that means it's not clearly haram, it's not clearly halal. The same thing will be replicated for the video games, the virtual games. Okay, this is how you will derive the things. Can you mention any examples of Quran about technology?
Technology itself is not mentioned in the Quran.
What is technology, by the way? You were there when I was asking questions from previous participant. I asked the same questions from her as well. What is technology? You were busy preparing your own notes, I think, at that time. No? You were listening to our discussion at that time? So you remember this question I asked? What is technology? There's a mix-up in our understanding between technology and device-based technology. Technology can be something which is basically accelerating the process to reach to a goal or purpose. So for example, let's say I want to reach to Mombasa. One technology can be that one thing is that I walk on my feet. Yeah, this is one thing. The other thing can be I take a cycle or a bike or a car or a train or a plane. Each thing is a mean to make me reach to my goal or purpose in a accelerated manner. So each one of them will be considered as a technology. Do we have any examples of such thing in Quran? Not device-based technology, but at least non-device-based technology. Basically, even we have references of device-based technology as well in Quran. But in any case, you just mentioned something which was not normal from before, as an idea Allah has given to a Nabi or something.
The staff of Prophet Musa.
How?
It was given. Okay, I'm not sure if it was given to him, but he used it when he was parting the sea. And
No, that was mu'jiza. That was something which is like a miracle. We are talking about things which are not miracle. You remember anything about Hazrat Dawood?
The slingshot,
Sorry?
the catapult, and the stone.
No. Anything with regards to metal? Hadid? Okay.
The melting of iron under his hand.
Yes. So that can be one of the technologies that Allah has given, yes? Or let's say the capacity to communicate with non-human beings for Hazrat Sulaiman. Okay. Maulana.
Thank you, Mariam, for your presentation, and it was informative. But few things I believe were missing. You were trying to explain yourself about addiction, and I was noticing that you said addiction means, you were trying to express yourself. You said addiction means being hooked. It has to be my way. You used a phrase, cannot stop doing it. You remember phrasing all these? But you did not define addiction. There has to be a proper definition that will lead you to a problem, that this is the problem and this is the addiction. And now I have to go and find it out in the Quran. So what is the Quranic term that will give you an idea of addiction? Do you remember anything from the notes?
No, I didn't see the notes. I didn't read them.
What all sources you used to prepare your presentation?
I had Ghurur al-Hikam for the saying of Imam Ali alayhi salam.
Okay, you referred to Ghurarul Hikam. How did you find this hadith where you said hatred is second nature? You remember
Habit.
quoting this hadith?
Habit is second nature.
Yes. Habit is second nature. You said Imam Ali ﷺ said habit is second nature, and it is mentioned in Ghurarul Hikam. That is what you referred just now.
Yes.
Where did you find this hadith? How did you find this hadith?
So I wasn't initially looking for this exact one, but I came across it and I decided I would use it.
How did you come across it?
I was actually looking for a hadith that it's like when you can't get out of something when you're addicted. But as I kept scrolling on,
You searched somewhere on
yes,
it?
I searched on Google and
Okay.
I got alislam.org, and I kept looking at the sayings and I came across this one and I decided to use it.
How can you go? How can Google give you al-islam.org? Everybody is going to al-islam.org. There are so many Sunni resources. What did you type in Google?
Can't recall.
What did you ask Google to give you? If you ask Google to give you some hadith, it is for sure going to give you some Sunni
Yes.
references first, because most of the time. So how did you land up on alislam.org?
Again, I just kept scrolling and just looking for something else when I came up.
And where did you find on the site? Where did you find this hadith? Was it an article? Was it a book?
No, it was a part of a list. It was part of a list.
It was a part of a list.
Yeah, like there were many hadith written down.
And you know, Ghurar al-Hikam is it a first-hand source book or is it a second-hand?
I don't
No
know,
idea.
but I reached out to someone who gave me the green light and was like, okay, you could use this.
Okay. Because Ghurar al-Hikam is also quoting from somewhere else. So I wanted to ask you where is the main source. Anyways, so about Ihdina Sirat al-Mustaqim that you kept on mentioning, and at the end, while concluding, you really are insisting upon balance, moderation, about, to cope up with these problems. But from the Quranic perspective, when you want to solve this problem in your life, when I want to solve this problem in my life, I'm addicted to technology, I'm addicted to, these gaming things. And a similar question that I asked the previous participant also. What is the Quran's best, offer, solution?
Remembering Allah at all times.
Okay. So I can remember Allah all the time and I can play my game also. I'll play my game qurbatan ilallah.
Okay, remembering.
I was talking to a boy that day and he said, I was awake up till 3 and I wanted to pray at 4, 5. So I kept on playing 2 more hours so that I can pray and sleep. So it is, he's trying to play and to even, not go to sleep.
But sleep was made as a ni'mah for Allah, as a ni'mah from Allah, and sleep was important. It is important, but if you're making yourself like not sleep to stay awake, then you're harming yourself. And even though you're going to wake up and pray to Allah again, By remembering Allah, I meant knowing what would make him happy and what he would approve of, and what he would not approve of.
So why Allah is asking us to pray namaz shab, for example, if sleep is that important?
Sleep is important, but again, we're knowing that if I wake up for namaz isha, will Allah be happy with me? He will. It's something that
So if a game is helping me to stay awake for namaz fajr, Allah will be happy with me. If I'm playing a normal good game, there's nothing bad, there is nothing, objectionable content, and I want to be awake, I don't want to fall asleep. I know if I fall asleep, I will miss my fajr prayer. So I will, keep on playing for an hour or two so that I can, I don't miss my prayer. So how is it bad? Is it bad?
I mean, in that context, I would personally say it's not bad if you're looking at it in a way that, okay, fine, you're sacrificing your sleep, but if you think that you're going to miss your namaz, which is more important, then go ahead.
What is the term in Quran? It's there in the notes. That is why I'm asking you. Technology. How does Quran talk about technology?
In the notes?
It's there in the notes that were shared.
Yeah, I didn't have access to them.
Okay, you didn't have access because
I didn't know that there were notes posted.
Okay. Any more else from Arusha? Anyone else? Okay, there is going to be one more from Arusha. So I will have to see who was the representative who was following up. He or she should have given you the notes. So if Sakina Zainab also says that she did not get the notes,
I actually found out from her that there were notes posted. So
how come she knows and you did not know?
No, I said I didn't know that there were notes posted until I came here.
She knew and you did not know?
Yeah, I didn't know.
She knows?
No, she knows that there were notes posted.
She informed her that there were notes. Okay, so I will skip this as you did not. Anyways, one more question. Let me see your response to this. Now we know, you know about the topic that we are discussing. It's about technology. It's about, gaming. So there is no exact word about technology in Quran. But why do you think Quran still talks about ilm, hikmat, sona? What is the meaning of sona? Sona. Sad, noon, ayn, sona. Quran talks about craftsmanship, right? Can craftsmanship be counted as something, a use of technology?
Probably yes.
Probably yes. Okay. So any Nabi, any prophet, anyone using craftsmanship, showing skills, using ilm, knowledge, hikmat to develop something, come up with a new idea. There are stories about prophets.
Sure.
There are stories about prophets. So I want you to think about an example where you can mention about a prophet using knowledge to develop skills to develop and to make life more easy, because making life easy, using good means, providing comfort to life, these are the definitions for technology. So where can you find such an example?
I know the story of Salman Farsi when he suggested to dig the trench.
Good. Okay. Good.
For the battle, and that was meant to keep the enemies away from them, and it did give them a hard time reaching the army.
So this we mentioned this in the class and we discussed this on the notes also. But from Quran, can you mention something? A prophet, a Nabi using something. You understand the question properly? Was there a Nabi using technology, using guiding people towards something?
Prophet Sulaiman?
Prophet Sulaiman, what did he do?
His way of speaking to animals?
That was again, Sayyid said, don't mix up miracles with technology. I will give you one example. There are so many examples. from chapter Kahf. Okay, it talks about. Let me see if you can translate this ayah. آتوني زبر الحديد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. آتوني زبر الحديد حتى إذا ساوى بين الصدفين قال انفخوا. قال انفخوا حتى إذا جعله نارا قال آتوني أفرغ عليه قطرا. Do you remember this? Do you remember what Prophet Zulqarnain was doing? What did he do? No idea? Anything about Prophet Nuh? What did he do? Might have used some technology in building something.
Building the ark.
Yeah. So what did he do? Anything?
He used wood and he built a huge ark.
Must have used something, yes. Anything, any ideas you have?
Not specifically.
Okay. Thank you.
How many minutes we are having? 40 seconds. Okay, just wanted to clarify one or two things over here from your presentation. I was just checking, there are 19 examples of, more than 19 examples of la'ib in Quran. So gaming has been mentioned. In one of the segments of your presentation, you said it's good to have a chat or conversation with the people in the games. Do you defend that idea? I think when somebody is having a chat in the game, for example, Roblox has a segment where you can have online chatting, etc. In majority of the games, you are not aware whom you are talking to. And we are having many cases where there were sexual abuses, where there were financial abuses happened through this gaming system, because people are getting to know, then they are asking for the contact numbers and all. So do you still think that chatting on games can lead to, like the way you said, it's good that you are getting to know new people?
The negative is greater than the positive.
Okay, so that was one thing that I wanted to clarify. The other thing, just as a crux of the matter, that when there are permissible games and non-permissible games, what is the thing that is making some of the games discouraged or prohibited? One word? Maybe forgetfulness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Yeah? Thank you. Jazakumullah khair. Ahsant. What does the Quran teach about resolving sibling and family conflicts? You can prepare your mind by referring to your notes. Question number 4.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. The question is, how does the Quran guide us in resolving sibling and family conflicts? So first we need to understand who are our family. Family are our mothers, our father, our siblings. Our family is also our fellow Muslims because we are brothers and sisters in faith. And naturally our family is our first support system. But conflicts naturally happen. Sometimes there are small moments, sarcasm, if you feel unheard or you take things without asking, it can quietly build tension. And the Quran offers guidance to handle these conflicts with patience, respect, and wisdom. So we need to understand, how do these conflicts occur? Small sparks escalate. Sometimes it starts with minor disagreements. I want this, my sibling wants something else. It can create tension before anyone notices. A big argument can't happen out of nowhere. It starts with small arguments. And over time, these small issues can make the home feel tense or unsafe. Second, we have sibling issues. Siblings are different. Not all of them have the same personalities. And they compete for attention. And they also have unspoken expectations. Like the older sibling, let's say, is supposed to do more work or is more responsible than the younger sibling. That's what they are expected to do. It's also because family members are different. Some family members are emotional, some are quiet, some are very social, some are antisocial. And when we recognize these and respect these differences, it prevents unnecessary arguments. We also have external factors like school, social life, lack of sleep. Sometimes because you are suffering something of your own, let's say at school, you can lash out at your siblings. Now let's look at the effects of these conflicts. When these conflicts occur, the communication becomes short or cold and their trust weakens. And our siblings drift apart, and the parents may also feel overwhelmed. It can also impact our mental health, causing anxiety and irritability in the family. So, now let us look at the Quranic guidance. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Isra, verse 23, "Your Lord has decreed that you shall not worship anyone except Him, and He has enjoined kindness to parents. Should they reach old age at your side, one of them or both, do not say to them, 'Fie,' and do not chide them, but speak to them noble words." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that we should worship Allah only. But He's also saying, when Allah is commanding us to be kind to our parents, treat them properly, something as small as just saying, it's not allowed. This requires humility and gentle speech, even when you are frustrated. If we look at the story of Bibi Fatima alayha salam, she was tired after doing household chores and she accidentally dropped a tray. Imam Ali noticed this, but instead of criticizing or raising his voice, rather he calmly helped her pick it up and he spoke kindly about her effort. This way, no argument occurred and their trust remained. So this teaches us, when something bad happens, when something bad occurs, we don't have to lash out. We should use calm responses, respectful speech. So speak softly, avoid sarcasm, and validate siblings' feelings. Then we have patience, self-control, and anger management. If we look at the story of Habil and Qabil, Qabil became jealous of Habil's favor with Allah and he tried to attack him. But what did Habil do? Habil did not retaliate. Rather, he stayed calm and he avoided the violence and he prayed for guidance. And because of Qabil being uncontrollably angry, it led him to kill Habil, while Habil's patience prevented him to do sin. This teaches us that we should control our anger. Anger can cause so many bad things. Why be angry? Rather have self-control, because it protects oneself and others. So, when you feel angry, you should pause, breathe, step away briefly, and speak only after calming down. According to Ayatollah Sistani, that feeling anger is not sinful, but shouting insults or harming others is haram, and we do not want to do that. And then we have Amr bil Ma'ruf and gentle correction. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Tawbah, verse 71, "But the faithful men and women are comrades of one another. They bid what is right and forbid what is wrong, and maintain the prayer, give zakat, and obey Allah and His Apostle. It is they to whom Allah will soon grant His mercy. Indeed, Allah is Almighty, All-Wise." Allah is saying that our believers, they help each other, they encourage good. So, we should also do that with our family. Instead of lashing out at them, you should tell them calmly that, this is what you are doing is wrong. You could do this instead, like how the prophets did. So once the prophet noticed the family member taking more food than their share. So he did not scold them publicly. He spoke privately to them and explained that and suggested fair sharing. And the child understood and corrected his behavior. So when you use private and kind advice, it prevents embarrassment and it ensures compliance. And advice works best when it's respectful and private. So what we should do is, when we see our siblings doing something wrong, we should correct them privately and gently, because public shaming or humiliation, it is haram. Then we have cooperation, teamwork, and mediation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, Surah Maida verse 25. He said, "My Lord, I have no power over anyone except myself and my brother. So part us from the transgressing lot." So Prophet Musa was tasked with leading the people, but he was shy and unsure. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala appointed Prophet Harun to assist. So Prophet Harun, he spoke calmly to the people, shared responsibilities, and helped guide the community successfully. So how did it help? So when we share responsibilities, it prevents mistakes and maintains order. And when we work together with our siblings, it actually reduces conflicts and strengthens guidance. Then we have compassion, sacrifice, and strengthening bonds. In Surah Nahl, verse 97, "Whoever acts righteously, whether male or female, should he be faithful, we shall revive him with a good life and pay them their reward by the best of what they used to do." And that shows us that when we act righteously, it actually brings peace and it strengthens family ties. During Karbala, Imam Hussein and Bibi Zainab, they supported each other despite danger. They offered courage, emotional comfort, and guidance, staying united under hardship. Even when we see that our siblings or our family is suffering, we should stay with them through hard and when it's good. So when you sacrifice and loyalty, it strengthens the family and moral courage. So forgive your siblings quickly, check on your siblings, and prioritize our relationships over ego. Then we have sharing, flexibility, and household harmony. In Surah Nur, verse 61, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "There is no blame upon the blind, nor any blame upon the lame, nor any blame upon the sick, nor upon yourself. So if you eat from your own houses, or your father's house, or your mother's house, or your brother's house, or your sister's house, or the houses of your paternal uncles, or of your paternal aunts, or of your maternal uncles, or maternal aunts, or whose keys are in your possession, or those of your friends, there will be no blame on you whether you eat together or separately. So when you enter houses, greet yourselves with a salutation from Allah. That means we should live with each other. We should learn to live with each other. We should share everything. Allah actually encourages this. He says it's okay. You don't need to ask your family member. You should share. If we look at the Muhajirin and the Ansar, look at the way they share their homes, their resources, their space, even when the space and the food was limited. And they weren't even siblings. If us and our siblings can't share, how can we share with the Muslims? How can we cope with other Muslims? And because of this sharing, it actually prevented arguments and it actually fostered harmony. Fairness is actually wajib and selfish harm is haram. Then we should also be aware of emotional triggers. Sometimes we don't know what your sibling is going through because they're quiet or they're not saying anything. So when they lash out or when they get angry at you, you should respond with peace, number one. Number two is that when you are talking to them, look at your tone. Talk to them in a polite way. Sometimes you think, oh, it's just a joke. But the reality is you don't know what they are going through. To them, it's not always a joke. Because look at the way the prophets, they faced insults and stress, but they never lashed out. Instead, they explained feelings calmly and they acted wisely. And how does this help? It prevents unnecessary conflict. And then we have respecting roles and authority. Responsibility and guidance start with the family. Imam Ali guided Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein with patience, correcting mistakes without force or humiliation. Parents often tend to use aggressiveness, which doesn't help. When you use patience, it helps. Why? Because the children are more willing and able to listen, to understand. Oh, my parent has a point over here. And last but not least, boundaries in extreme situations. So we should respect each other even when we are frustrated. Even like if you see the story of Prophet Ibrahim, he disagreed with his father's beliefs. But he spoke firmly and respectfully and did not insult or harm him. How did this help? It prevented sin and it also maintained respect. If we see our family member is doing something wrong, we don't have to get angry at them. Yeah, it's wrong. But we should also maintain respect, because if we do get angry at them, we are sinning. What's the use of sinning? Thank you.
Thank you, Ahsant, Sakina Zainab Juma. Thank you. It was a nice presentation. 13 minutes something? Yes.
14 minutes.
14 minutes. So I enjoyed listening to your presentation and it was good, well structured. Did you use the notes? Notes that were provided?
I skimmed through them. I used some points and some points, yeah.
But you had the notes with you, because many
Yes.
of the ayats that you were mentioning and some of the instances
Yes.
were there in the notes. For example,
I
Bibi
used the
Zainab, Imam
notes.
Hussein and those ayats. So it was nice of you to use those notes. And okay, I want to ask you first thing. Let me start from the beginning. You said fellow Muslims are also family.
Yes.
You remember saying that?
Yes.
So from which ayah can you give me this understanding that?
So, if I'm being honest, I don't recall the ayah, but I remember the translation being something about we are brothers in faith. I saw it while I was doing this question. I saw it somewhere, and I remember asking you.
Talks about
before.
mu'minun.
Yeah, that.
Doesn't say about muslimin. Is there a difference between mu'min and a Muslim?
Yes.
What is the difference?
Mu'minun are believers,
Okay.
and Muslims are like Muslims.
So what is the difference? Now
Mu'minun-
I'm getting confused.
I think it's trying to mu'minun. How do I say? I feel they believe more than normal Muslims. Muslims are general, like all
Okay.
sects. And
So
I
every
feel-
Muslim, every mu'min cannot necessarily be considered a Muslim.
No. Every mu'min is a Muslim, but
Okay.
every Muslim is not a mu'min.
Okay. Agreed. Okay. One thing that you mentioned about in your solutions while you were giving these ayats, and by the way, you should also recite the Arabic text. It was nice of you to utilize the Quran which is in front of you, and you were smart enough to prepare those ayats and note down the pages and fold the pages. But try to recite the Arabic text.
Okay.
It's better. Okay. So you recited one of the ayats from Surah Isra where it talks about وَلَا تَقُلْ لَهُمَا أُفٍّ وَلَا تَنْهَرْهُمَا. It is about the parents.
Yes.
Okay. And you used it for patience and for siblings, and then you mentioned the story about Lady Zahra Salamullah alayha dropping a tray and Imam alayhi salatu wasalam being polite to her.
Yes.
So how can you relate that ayah which is talking about the parents to the siblings issue?
Siblings. Okay, so we should. So it did mention that we should respect our parents, and we should not say any harm to them. So first of all, one way of respecting our parents is by respecting our siblings. And why do I say that is because the parent's child is the sibling. So it would be better for the parent if their child is treated nicely. Like if I treated you nicely, and let's say not your child, but if I respect you, I would treat you and your child nicely.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is how it relates.
So the solution is that the parents should be, their behavior with their children should be nice, so
Yes.
that the behavior of the siblings can be nice.
Yes. And if we build that discipline with our parents, it's easy to build that discipline with our siblings.
Okay. So, anyways, commenting on the first point, where Muslimeens, where Allah Subhanahu wa Taala talks about ukhuwah and says innamal mu'minuna ikhwa. So you have to remember that we cannot generalize some of the concepts which are
Yes.
there in the ayah. And if it is specifically for specific people, it has to be that way, limited to
Yes.
specific people. And if it is generalized by Quran, then we can use it. For example, there was something that you talked about, and even in this ayah, وَلَا تَقُلْ لَهُمَا أُفٍّ وَلَا تَنْهَرْهُمَا. So you have to be very careful while you are using these ayats. One more thing, you were mentioning about talking in a polite way and not joking with others.
Yeah.
And then you said even the prophets were joked and were mocked at.
Yes.
Can you name a few prophets who were mocked at? And Quran talks about those.
So there is Prophet Shuaib.
Okay.
There's also Prophet Muhammad.
So
Prophet Yusuf.
how they were mocked?
Oh, so Prophet Muhammad, when he started spreading Islam, he was constantly mocked.
How was he mocked?
So they used to call him names, but that's the least. There was a point where they threw I think it was a cow's liver or cow's kidney on him when he was praying. And imagine. Oh, I got it from the notes.
So who were the people mocking the Prophet, calling him names?
The non-believers.
The non-believers used to call the Prophet what? Sahir. What is the meaning of Sahir?
I don't know. Wait, there was it's somewhere in Surah Kawthar.
Okay, good.
Abtar, I think.
Abtar.
Yes.
So they used to call Prophet Abtar. What is the meaning of Abtar?
I think it's an animal.
Abtar.
Wait.
Oh, yes.
I think.
Which personality from the Ahl Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam this
think
surah
they-
is about attributed to?
Bibi Fatima.
Okay, so how?
I think they call him Abtar because he, like all his sons,
Yes.
died.
Okay.
So they used to call him Abtar. Now Abtar, I don't know the exact meaning.
Abtar means someone who does not have a lineage, does not have a child, a male child.
Okay.
So, do you know anything about? You said the non-believers used to mock the Prophet.
Yes.
Sometimes the Muslimin also mocked.
Yes.
Can you name a?
So
You said yes very confidently. You must know
yeah,
something.
because I do remember that the Muslims, many of them
Any one event.
were munafiqs.
Okay.
So after the Prophet died, they had Da'watul Ashira, I think.
No.
No, they had, Saqifa.
Okay.
Yeah, so where they wanted to be the next leader after the Prophet.
So the Prophet was not there at the time of the Prophet. Can you name an incident where?
Maybe some days back to the same
Oh.
Few days back, someone said something very bad to the Prophet.
Okay, I don't know the exact names maybe, but
Okay.
I do remember that before, even when the Prophet was telling them that he is getting sick and all,
Mhm.
people had already started making.
So when the Prophet was sick, he called everyone and said, bring me paper and a pen.
No, not that time. When he was telling everyone that I'm close to dying,
Mhm.
I feel like at that time people had already like started making plans.
Okay, I don't want to get far away from this topic, but just to give you a hint, go and search for the hadith on that day, what happened when the Prophet asked for paper and a pen, and how did the Muslims they reacted, and what was the disrespect that they did, and what did they say to the Prophet, which was very disrespectful. So we'll keep it up to here. You can just go and search.
There is a very popular ayah in Quran, which is normally used for evil eye. Over there also there is the title that like Kafirin used to give to our Holy Prophet, but Allah says no, it's not true. Do you remember what was the topic? What was the title that they used to give?
Naja.
No, Majnoon. What is the meaning of Majnoon?
Crazy?
Okay. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Prophet is not like this.
Yeah.
Okay. In your presentation, you referred to the matter of Habil and Qabil.
Yes.
What is the ayah that you are referring to?
Can I check?
Okay, since it's about the number of the ayah, like what exactly?
It is Surah Ma'idah, verse 27.
27. Okay, now you don't refer back to it. Have you gone through the ayah itself?
I've skimmed through it. Not really.
Okay, not reflected on ayah. See, even to other participants who are sitting over here, I would like to invite everyone. See, it's not sufficient that we are referring to an article or someone else's opinion about an ayah. What we were requiring and expecting from all participants is that when you found an ayah to be relevant to your topic, you have to at least go through the ayah 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 times. Read it. Read and go into different aspects of the ayah. So it will give you a lot of lessons. I believe, even I was just enumerating, I could find 10 different strategies which Quran presents in terms of resolving the conflicts. I'm not negating all these strategies to be very correct, to be very relevant in all sorts of the conflicts. But what about the sibling conflicts? When you have an ayah which is clearly mentioning a conflict between two siblings, and the 2-3 ayats are covering that incident, there are a lot to be noted. Do you remember any point coming and taking and being derived from those ayats? Ayah number 27 of Maida. Don't refer to your notes. If you remember in your mind, just tell us. Ayah number 27 of Maida, which is starting from Watlu alayhim naba ibn Adam. And then there is ayah number 28 and even ayah number 29 and 30. So from 27 till 30, if you go through it, there are many strategies.
What about controlling your anger?
Okay, you mentioned this, but you mentioned you didn't mention any reference for that.
Because if you, in the story of Habil and Kabil, Kabil did not control his anger, which led him to sin.
Okay, is it mentioned over there in the ayah? What exactly is the word which is referring to this concept?
What concept, sorry?
What exactly is the word that gives this understanding that Qabil did not control his anger? Okay, rather the case is vice versa. I think there is another perspective to the ayah. Inshallah, we'll cover this when the second person would come for the same question, inshallah. Do you think any point can be there in the story of Hazrat Yusuf for sibling conflicts?
Respect.
How? Where?
So, if you looked, despite Prophet Yusuf, he was bullied a lot. But when Prophet Yusuf's brothers, they came to him later when he was to ask for crops, I don't know, food. He did not treat them harshly.
So is that respect?
I feel like he also So when Prophet Yusuf went back to Prophet Yaqub, and when he was riding back, there was a point he was supposed to go to his father, not his father come to him. And because he did not go to his father, it was considered a major sin, according to what I've read. Not a major sin,
Are you
but because he
confirming that a
was
prophet can do a major sin?
not a major sin, but because he's a prophet, it was like something big. So Allah.
So is that related to my question?
Yeah, because it teaches us that we should respect.
To the siblings.
Oh, siblings, I forgot.
Yeah. Hazrat Yaqub is not sibling to Hazrat Yusuf.
Oh, sorry.
First you mentioned the right perspective. I'm telling you that the title that you're giving is respect. I don't connect to respect over there, the segment of the story that you are referring to. Though that is very much relevant to your question, but I'm trying to understand whether you have understood it correctly or not.
Okay.
When Hazrat Yusuf, being a sibling of the other brothers, what did exactly he do at that time, and how do you take a lesson from that story?
Can I give maybe another story? So, when Prophet Yusuf got like all those dreams, and then he knew that he was going to be the next prophet. He knew that he had a higher level of superiority compared to his brothers. And when his brothers told him things like, let's say, let's go do this or come, he listened to them, even though he was going to be in danger. He listened to them because they were his brothers. He could not say, oh no, I cannot do this.
That means if there is a conflict happening with my sibling, let's say for me, and my sibling is asking me like he or she is going to cause me harm, I should be accepting it. I should say, respect, yes, you are going to hit me, Bismillah, that's going to be fine because the Yusuf did so.
No.
No. So it's not the lesson that you're taking out from it.
I feel
What
like
strategy you can find over there? See, there is a strategy. Strategy means there is a general concept that you can generalize into your life as well. What Hazrat Yusuf did is a strategy. What he did exactly?
patience.
No, he wasn't patient. If he was patient in that terms, he would have said, okay, I'm keeping it to myself. I'm not going to my father. I'm not narrating
I don't think patience is exactly about keeping quiet in my perspective.
That's fine, but patience is not the key point over here. Yeah, okay, I'll accept patience. Like, I'm not saying it's wrong message. Patience can be one of the general strategies to resolve the conflicts. It can happen anywhere. But what about the siblings? That's only my focus. That, yeah, many solutions are there which are general.
When he knew that his siblings were gonna do wrong when they were going to harm him.
What did he do?
He told them not to do it. He advised them that it was wrong to do. So I
Where?
think because they were his siblings, so you should correct your siblings. So if you see that your siblings are doing something wrong or anything,
was he able to correct them? And
Not-
where exactly can you find the ayah where Hazrat Yusuf has said that, okay, I'm admonishing you, you shouldn't be doing this is wrong, this is right?
So he wasn't able to correct them because they still committed the sin.
Yeah.
And the ayah reference for this, I'm not really sure, because
Can you mention to me the ayah that you referred to when you were mentioning the Muhajirin and Ansar? What concept over there Quran presents?
I didn't use ayah exactly. I used the story.
So
bits.
there is an ayah for that.
Yes,
The story is
there is
coming
an
from the ayah. The ayah says, وَيُؤْثِرُونَ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ. Can you derive a concept from it?
Can you translate it?
So if I translate, the concept will be clear. That's what I'm saying. Can you recon what is the translation? وَيُؤْثِرُونَ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ. Okay, good.
They were burdening themselves to help out others. So what were they actually doing?
Who?
Those people, those Ansar,
Yeah.
for Muhajirin, they gave out their houses, they provided everything.
Yeah.
Because the Muhajirin, they made this migration from
so
Mecca
you
to
want
Medina.
the key, so the
The
key
key
concept
word-
is sacrifice.
Sacrifice, ithar. Okay,
Which
that was nice. Can you again talk about another concept, which is sila rahim? How does it relate to all of this, sibling issues, family issues? What is sila rahim?
Sila Raham is maintaining ties with family.
With what type of family? Because you are saying Muslimin are also family. So my family today got so huge and big, I was not expecting.
So
And
I
if-
think the family over here is talking about your internal family, like your family, your
Blood
mom,
relatives, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you're talking about Sila Raham, sometimes you may have like a fight with your family, but it's important to note that they are still your family.
So how can you prevent not cutting ties?
So spend time with them. Also try to understand them.
In today's world, okay, people are living far away, not in the same country, not in
Oh.
the same city.
So so if let's say I'm living far away from my grandparents, I can call them, talk to them. They are also if this was maybe into gaming, you could play games with them.
Mhm. Good.
Obviously Islamic.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'm reading down a ayah for you, ayah number 6 of Surah Hujarat. The ayah says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu in ja'akum fasiqun binaba'in فتبينوا أن تصيبوا قوما بجهالة فتصبحوا على ما فعلتم نادمين. Any idea whether you refer to this ayah number 6 of Surah Hujarat 49:6? Can I ask you, what is the role of confirming the reality in terms of having the conflicts between the siblings and all?
Can you further explain your question?
Okay, I'm looking for the concept of confirming the reality, to evaluate the reality. What role the evaluation of the facts, checking the facts, play in creating or avoiding the siblings' conflict?
I still don't understand.
Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Thank you so much. Shukran, jazakumullah khair, ahsan.
Thank you.
You can just keep it here. I'll close the room. So inshallah we can all head out for namaz and lunch, and then we shall resume back at 2:15 sharp. Thank you.